Get ready. Woo! We are on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Now, Buddy Land.
What is going on, everybody? Jeff, what's up, man?
Howdy.
Let's go. Welcome to the Rhythm Section Podcast. We're here to shine a spotlight on Greater Memphis and North Mississippi's vibrant music community by unveiling the incredible stories of our talented artists. Produced by SRP Studios, podcast-powered branding for business growth. Go to srpstudiosllc.com for a free consultation.
Tune in every Wednesday morning for fresh episodes on Apple and Spotify. Join us at 6 p.m. Central on YouTube and Facebook for Wednesday video releases. For all details, visit therhythmsectionpod.com.
As always, thanks to Ben Cooey and Hemp Ville CBD. They are our title sponsor, so they present this podcast to you on a weekly basis. And of course, we're grateful for that. You can discover life-changing CBD products and Delta-8 THC alternatives to opiates and prescription medicines. So check it out here. You can go to his store, find Hidden Hills Club, Pound Town OG. It's indica. The flavor is fresh frozen bar. It has THCA Ultra, D9, THCB. A heady blend, as it's described. So, you know, we'll let you guys figure out why I have this box in front of me. Just saying. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, use promo code TRS20 for an exclusive 20% off purchases at HempvilleCBD.com and enjoy free shipping for orders $50 and up. Please visit their store at 562 East Goodman Road in Southaven, Mississippi.
And you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram and catch Ben Cooey's podcast, Hempville CBD, on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Its purpose is to give you hemp education and market awareness. The best way to support this educational podcast is to subscribe to Ben's YouTube channel. Click the link in the description and hit that subscribe button. Visit HempvilleCBD.com for all information.
Yeah, and when we're done here, I'm going to be giving a try to the mango lemonade.
Yes.
Infused lemonade.
Yep.
I'll be trying that before I go to rehearsal for Gen X. So
think of flavored water, but THCA infused.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure we're specific. It's THCA.
Yeah.
As I've learned from doing the podcast with Ben, his podcast. Right. THCA or Delta-8.
Right.
Those are terms you're going to hear a lot. So, all right, cool.
Understood.
Jeffrey Ward, how are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing awesome. Spent a few days out at the farm.
Are you feeling any different this morning?
A little different. Just a little different. No paranoia, though. Having a good time.
We're walking into this show like Steve Austin. Yeah. All right. Today's featured artist is Emma Caroline from 901 ROX.
Yep.
Coming up. All right, Jeff. We're going to announce the rest of this season, and it's going to end with a nice announcement. They're all nice, right?
They're all good.
All right. Coming up, Nick Ireland.
Yep.
Land Divided and Hairspray Nation.
Yep.
Julian Wong, formerly known as
Guitar Wizard.
Yes, and high-level engineer.
We learned that in the.
And then, man, the last two episodes of this season is going to be ending with a bang. I can promise you this. So
first, you're going to get your weenus moisturized.
Oh, after Julian, we have Davey Dave Smith.
Yep. And
I'm here to tell you, if you want to learn more about all Joshine products. This is what you want. Yeah. You're going to want to check that out. Yeah. Of course, the Deb Jam Band and Landslide, a Memphis tribute to Fleetwood Mac.
Yep.
And then our season finale.
Yes.
Wednesday, March 20th, Mr. John Roth.
Yes.
Winger and Starship. Yeah. And another great interview. Gosh, his connections, names are flying, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy to hear how he joined Winger.
Yep.
How he joined Starship, everything. It was a great time. He was so cool. Of course, everyone's nice, but John came to play.
Yeah.
It's obviously Davey Dave Smith. You all know. He played.
Yeah, that was a good time for sure.
All right, man. Well, I don't want to make this about me here,
No,
but
we have to because I did nothing this weekend.
I hate you.
This is all
I just
about
wanted
you.
I just wanted to announce that publicly.
Tell
now.
everybody about your Goldstrike.
You know I love
time.
you. You know I love you.
I know you do.
So yes, I just finished a very busy gig weekend. I did 3 nights at Goldstrike.
Nice.
And long story behind this, but I want to give thanks to my very close friend, Manny Zepeda.
Yes.
Who's a great keyboard player, guitar player. He can play bass, drums. He's just one of those guys, you know. And he is one of the house members of the band there. So what they do is they have a house band, right? They have the 4 top guys, right? Those are the A's. And then different artists cycle through the Cherokee Nation casino line, right? There's other locations. And each location has its own house band. And Manny's been trying to break me into it for a while.
Right.
And he finally did.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manny. So I'm in the system, like literally, like they have my bank information.
Nice.
And W9 and W4, right? So it's an amazing opportunity for me. Cool. And we just did a 3-nighter, old school country. And there was
cry in your beer.
Interesting moments, you know, being, you know, new.
Sure.
And even the other guys, you know, hadn't played with this guy much. So there was a lot of,
yeah,
you know, a lot of, we'll say some clams here and there.
Sure.
But by night 3, man, we were pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, and it was fun. But I made the right impressions, and the powers that be could very well be, you know, helping me out and sending work in, which is delightful to be able to have that steadiness, and also tied in with Elevation Memphis as their band, and also the Tina show. Yep. I'm very grateful, and I'm here to tell everyone here in the audience, these gigs don't really happen, you know, especially the Elevation and Tina show. Like, I met that whole camp because of this podcast.
Sure. This
podcast exists for you guys watching and listening. It's the only way I can say it. So it was a good time, and we'll see what it brings.
Nice.
You know?
Well, you've done plenty of casino work in your musical history.
Yep.
So this is nothing new to you. You'll kill it.
Yeah. Starting in 2006, I moved to Nashville in 2005, and then January of 2006, 3-4 months, I land a full-time casino gig. Talk about God's blessings raining.
Sure.
And off and running. And it was a 5-year chunk of my life where I lived in casinos 40 weeks out of the year.
Wow.
And so walking into Goldstrike, very familiar. The smell, the sounds, the stage behind the bar. I'll tell you this, though. It's so convenient because it's all backlined.
Yeah.
You know, so you just roll in. And so there's those
musician's dream.
Yeah. So it is quite a major step up for me. So I'm just glad to be working again on a professional level.
Well, I have not been to the casinos in a long time. What's the crowd like? I know it's nothing like it used to be. Really?
Yes. Goldstrike is the hot spot.
It's the hot spot.
It absolutely is. That's where the band can play the loudest, and they have the best front system.
Because the last time that you and I played a casino gig with Derrick Joseph, it was at Hollywood, and there was nobody in that place.
Come on, give me some grief. How'd that night go?
Oh, no, that's not, I'm not going there.
No, I want you to. Tell the story.
Well, that was our first time playing together.
Yes.
And it was.
And meeting each other.
We had never met before, and it was a short notice gig for me, and I was not good.
But you know the specific story I want to hear.
Well, I
say it.
About you being an asshole?
Yes.
Yeah, well, okay. The audience.
Yeah!
You really weren't that bad, but you were standoffish because I was terrible. But I redeemed myself later on. So
we got to continue to niche down, get to the specific story, Jeff. You want me to tell it?
Yeah, tell it. I don't know what you're looking for specifically.
It was a Collective Soul song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I did not know the song.
No.
We play it in Gen X now, and I do know the song.
Right. So what was the song? The title? Heavy?
Yes, Heavy.
It was Heavy.
And I did not play it correctly.
Anyone that knows that song, especially if you play the song, you know, it's an intricate drum pattern, right? Well, and looking back, you know, you kind of did a good thing because you kept the momentum and time and everything, but Jeff laid down the sickest disco beat you'll ever hear. Like, I've never heard you funkier because it was so down the middle. And then there was definitely some hairy eyeballs going your way. I've changed.
Not just from you.
Oh, I still give you shit because of this show.
Yeah.
That's part of our relationship.
Absolutely.
But you've learned who I am. You know, I love you. You know.
That was
you
a
know,
fun
I
night.
mean, I'll tell you know.
No, that was...
You've become a very close friend. I will say that. We've been
Absolutely.
friends ever since, right?
yeah.
Oh, and then I will say, and then we'll get to the band sponsors. The second gig,
yeah.
I want to make this known. It was at Resorts,
It was.
which does not exist anymore.
Right.
And you crushed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, where were you
Well.
that last time?
Derrick Joseph didn't call me 24 hours ahead of time.
And that's when we became
Yeah,
friends.
it was.
I hated you up to that point. No, I'm just kidding.
Where the hell did this guy come from? He actually does know how to play.
All right. Well, again, thanks for the support of this show. And then, like in Jeff's case, too, it's connected us in the music world as players, too. So, you know, thank you all.
Yeah, and we're going to go to our band sponsors now. And the first one we got is Seeing Red. We love those guys. Saturday, February the 24th at Rail Garden at 8 p.m. Saturday, March the 9th at Lafayette's Music Room at 9 p.m. Saturday, April the 13th at Lafayette's Music Room at 9 p.m. And you can follow Seeing Red at seeingredband.com. And I'm still confused because I saw that there are some 10 p.m. start times at Lafayette. So I don't know what the hell's going on there.
If I was better at my job, I would like research from the source. It's a quick phone call.
Right.
Our good friends, Fevertree. Fevertree is a Memphis-based rock band that pulls heavily from its southern roots. They created a powerful and soulful mix of southern rock, blues, funk, and nitty-gritty rock and roll. Listen to the singles Muddy Jesus, Buried Alive, and More Than Enough on Spotify, along with albums, Social Mediocrity, and Lessons Learned. Opening for such acts as Tora and Josie Scott's Saliva, Fevertree will melt your face and melt all electricity from Madison to Monroe. Find Trevers. I was doing so good, man. I was doing so good. Find Fevertree's socials and tour dates at fevertreeband.com.
And Area 51, we've got Friday, February the 16th at Rock House Live, Collierville. That's a 9 p.m. start. Saturday, February the 17th at Dan McGinnis. That's a 9 p.m. start. Friday, March the 1st at Lafayette's, 6 p.m. Saturday, March 2nd at Dan McGinnis, 9 p.m. Follow Area 51 on Facebook at Area 51 Memphis, and we love those guys.
All right, next up is Mr. Shawn Few. I saw a post. I don't know what happened. I want to hear the story.
There was a kerfuffle.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Was he swinging it like an axe?
I don't know. I didn't see.
I want to know what's up. Text me.
Call us.
Josh.
Something.
I'm not Josh. Shawn.
Shawn.
Josh can text me too. Man, I'm on top of the sounds though. I will say that. All right, formerly known as Saturday, February 24th at Dan McGinnis, 9 p.m. Saturday, March 2nd at Neil's, 9 p.m. Or Neil's is 8, I believe. And then Saturday, March 9th at Hadley's. Also, again, another reminder of their residencies. First Saturday is at Neil's. Second Saturday is at Hadley's. And the last Saturday of every month is at Dan McGinnis. Follow Shawn on Facebook at Shawn.few.7. All right.
Yep.
Emma, Caroline, 901 ROX.
Yeah.
So it was delightful, as you'd imagine. It's neat to talk to the musicians and singers out there that aren't from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You know, or at least grew up in the 90s and started playing early 2000s and later, you know, much like Sarah Spain.
Right.
I should watch the interview before we do our intros to have a better idea of what we talked about. But, you know, thanks to Hidden Hills Club, Pound Town OG Indica, I didn't do that. So I had to pull from memory. Just imagine, you know. So, but yeah, of course, we talk about how she began, you know. I believe she sang, you know, I can say this with confidence. She sang a talent show or two or several. And I think it was like Taylor Swift or that era, you know. I'm just trying.
I can say this with confidence. She sang 1, 2, maybe a half dozen.
Thank you, Ben Cooey. How about that? Band. Let's get the band names out there, right? So you got Brian Thorson on guitar, Alan Bone on drums, John Patrick on bass, and Michael Green on keys. And all very nice people, and we enjoy them. Great band. And they stay busy, man. They're out there working.
They stay very busy. I think they just played the Haystack, and there was another place in the Millington area that they played as well, back-to-back nights.
Yeah, they do a lot of Hadley's, Sidecar, Memphis. Sorry if we're missing anything, guys.
Oh no, they're all over, and they play great 80s and 90s rock and roll.
So what I do remember is, as a youth, obviously she was attracted to the youth songs, the Taylor Swifts of that era, we'll say, but then she found rock and it was game on from there. And then she's one hell of a rock singer. So, I mean, let's just talk about that and be real about it. She can cover anything. I
haven't heard her sing a bad song. And I think we said this in the interview that a lot of the songs they do are not easy.
Right.
Vocally.
Yeah. She gets up there.
Talking Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and that level of.
And I love her vocal work with Alan Bone.
Yeah.
So Alan, I want to throw you some love too. I love your singing. I do. Whatever band you're in. But then how you guys work off each other, whether you're harmonizing or I can't remember the name of the song, but they do an Aussie song where they
close my eyes forever.
Yeah.
Close your eyes forever.
It's really good. It's excellent.
Yeah, so, it is excellent.
So it's a good, it's a fun vocal band too. And then the band is killer, and they just lock right in with each other. So I can't say enough good things about 901 ROX. And then we talk about how she landed the gig, and relatively speaking, it's very new for her still. A couple of years, I think, and she talks about the audition, how she met, I think she met Brian first. I think.
I don't
maybe
remember.
Should have been. I don't know. It's like, sorry, guys. But look, we hope you enjoy.
We can tell you with the utmost confidence that we did interview Emma Caroline.
And it's coming up in 5 minutes. No, we'll try to make this quick. But, God, I know we do it a lot, but it goes without saying, this doesn't exist without our audience. And we talk about Facebook only because it's so amazing that with each new episode that comes out, the level of sharing it gets, comments from people I've never seen before, names that I go friend them.
Right.
People just outside of our scope, and it's fun to watch.
Yep. And thanks to Hempville. I can't even talk anymore.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Thanks to HempvilleCBD.com. They are responsible for the stupidity of this intro. TRS 20 for 20% off at checkout. Free shipping on orders $50 and up.
Yes, big thanks again to our sponsors, our band sponsors, Shawn Few, Area 51, Seeing Red, and Fevertree.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Rhythm Section Pod. On the website, therhythmsectionpod.com, top right-hand corner. Find that YouTube icon, click it. Subscribe to the channel, go find the playlist, and watch the show. That is quite simply the best way you can consume this content is on YouTube. We love it that Facebook gets love. And then you have the audio-only listeners. Yes, all of that.
And get out and see a band and check it out. Friday, you'll see Derrick and myself at Hadley's. We'll be there to see Area 51.
That's right.
And hang with them for a bit. And we're looking forward to that. So come out, say hi to us.
Yes.
And see those guys kick ass because they're amazing.
Come say hello always. We'd love to meet you. So, all right, y'all. Please enjoy our interview with Emma Caroline.
Thanks.
Well, hello, Emma Caroline.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm all right.
Check it out, Jeff. We got the singer from 901 ROX in the studio. Let's give it some.
Thank you.
Got to shorten that one up. Good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for making the trip. And as we record this on January 21st, you just had a show last night, right?
I did, yep.
At Haystack. And how did that go, considering the weather?
It shockingly was a good turnout. It was basically a full house, wasn't overflowing, but it was a full house, so it really felt like like a party vibe, Everybody was into it, everybody was dancing, so
good.
It was great.
Everybody was sick of being stuck at home.
Right. For context, anyone that doesn't know, this North Mississippi, Memphis area had Snowpocalypse 2024. And anyone that might be watching or listening from the north, we don't have sand trucks and salt trucks, and they don't clean anything up. So the streets become ice rinks.
Yep.
I forget what morning it was. I had to go out and get some breakfast for me and my kid. And dude, Hernando was an ice rink because everything froze solid because it participated the night before, so it got everything wet, and then bam.
It participated or precipitated?
That's the one right there. Oh, wrong button already.
It works though.
All right. Emma's like, what did I get myself into here? Well, awesome. So we're here to talk about you, not the guys.
My favorite topic.
Screw the other guys.
Yeah, we're not worried about them.
But then we are interested in how the band came to be, But where are you from originally?
I am from Memphis, sadly. Yeah.
Sadly?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. But I love Memphis. But I didn't grow up here.
Yeah.
But what would you say your upbringing was like here in Memphis?
I mean, just a regular old childhood. Thankfully, I wasn't raised in like the heart of Memphis. As soon as I was like 4 or 5, we moved out to Cordova, which at the time, wasn't as run down. So it was pretty normal, I would say.
Yeah.
Were you singing from young age?
Yeah, basically, like you can even ask my sisters. Not a day went by where they didn't tell me to shut up because I was always singing something.
Are you from a musical family?
Not really. Like we love music. My grandfather on my mother's side was like passionate about it, and my dad was really the reason I got into rock and roll music. So not necessarily, but
so you had a cool dad that was listening to all the good stuff. What were you raised on? Zeppelin, Beatles? What was
we would get in the car. I was really young. Sometimes he would have CDs. Other times he would just listen to the radio. But the main artists I remember listening to are The Cult, Guns N' Roses, Aerosmith, and Lenny Kravitz.
I've heard of them.
Her dad's got to be my age.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, early 50s, mid 50s.
Yeah.
So you're sort of a unicorn in your family. You're the one that came out singing and musical.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Did you take any like piano lessons or anything growing up, or has it just been singing?
Yeah, it's just been singing for the most part. I did take guitar for a couple years when I was in high school. I know, very minimal.
Do you know the cowboy chords?
No, apparently. That doesn't ring a bell at all.
Can you play a G chord?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I got that going for me.
G, C, and D.
Yeah, G, C, and D, and you can play a lot of songs.
If you can do those, you can write any song.
throw in the E minor, you're done.
I know that one too.
Oh, do you know C?
I think.
And then
it's awkward.
And then D.
Yeah.
Now you can play Wagon Wheel today if you wanted to.
Please don't.
I got you. Don't worry.
Did you sing in school, choir?
I did take choir in the 6th grade, but that was really the only time.
Oh, just 1 year?
Yeah.
Didn't feel it, or?
No, it was fun because I obviously loved singing, but the next year, and I didn't really, I guess it was just like more of a credit thing. It was choir at my school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it was more so like I didn't need the credit, so I didn't take it again. But I was originally had violin before my mother switched me over to choir. I was like, violin. Yeah. And I didn't even last a week because, first off, I was like, well, this is going to be cool. Get to learn how to play the violin. But then I saw the supplies that you had to get, and I was like, nope, not going to happen. So my mother switched me over to choir just because she knew I loved
band
singing,
can be expensive. In 5th grade, I played the trombone for 4 months. Yeah. And wasn't feeling it either. My mom was like, it's okay if you quit, but we need to quit by this date
so I can return
so
the gear.
We can get full refund. And I was like, done, take it.
Yeah. Both my kids were in bands, so I get it, man. It's expensive to be in that. But both my kids went the whole distance till they graduated, and they loved it. And it's nice to see them progress through that, and they know way more about music than I do.
Yeah. My daughter's in year 3 of school choir, and it's awesome watching them develop like that. And theater crew, which is a lot of fun stuff. Are you into theater? Do you like acting at all?
Yes. Like I've always considered myself like, like the performing arts, like artistic type. I took intro to theater my freshman year of high school. And while that wasn't necessarily like acting, we never really acted anything out. We learned about the theater and like history of Broadway and things like that. And then I did audition for school plays, so never got a part, but
Really?
I at least auditioned.
You didn't even get like the tree in the background or, you know, some extra that had no singing? That's a bummer.
It was, but thankfully, Bartlett Performing Arts Center, my freshman year, was putting on a production, and that's the type of place, like, you know, if you there's like a fee that you have to pay to be a part of the production, and as long as you paid that fee, you were at least part of the production. But I didn't have a speaking role, so background character, but they were singing, so.
Cool. So growing up, what were some of the artists that you like to sing and emulate?
It's interesting because growing up, I was a lot more into pop music than I was rock music. Don't get me wrong, I love the stuff that my dad played on the radio.
Did it crush his heart?
Not necessarily, because at the time, the pop music didn't stink as bad as I feel like it does today.
Agreed.
So there were still some good, pop music around. So he was kind of into it too. But
what were some of the bands and singers that from the pop that you were?
Well, like Miley Cyrus, of course, because she was like the teen idol.
So
at
this
the time,
is Disney era.
Basically, I listened to her. I loved, like Britney Spears, and well, this was like like in the early 2000s, around the time like the 2010s rolled around. I discovered Michael Jackson.
Yep.
You can ask my family. I was so obsessed. It was very cringeworthy to look back on.
Oh, there was a lot of white people that were very obsessed with Michael Jackson. That's the absolute truth. I was one of them. I loved him too.
Yeah. So through him, I found, like Prince and Madonna and all these other artists. And
Icons.
Yeah, basically. And then one summer I was bored sitting on my laptop, and I was like, let me look up this song. It was, I decided to listen to a bunch of the rock music that I used to listen to when I was younger, and it was great. Like, I played, this is pretty basic, but Welcome to the Jungle.
Sure.
And that's a good one to reminisce on. I always listen to Def Leppard, so like Hysteria and everything. Yeah.
Just really strong male vocals that can get up there in the range.
Right, basically. And so I was like, you know what? I could really get into this. So the following year, I was the rock chick.
Yeah.
I had like a leather jacket. My hair was jet black.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a bunch of band T-shirts. So
and your dad just got emotional with happiness.
So proud. Yeah.
What kind of stuff was your mom listening to?
She listens to a bunch of different stuff, but I think she's mainly interested in country music.
Okay.
So like every time we used to go to Florida a lot, and every time we would drive, she'd be playing a Jason Aldean album forward to back and drive me crazy because I'm like, I've heard this song 1,006 times. So listen to something
Derrick
else.
and I have too. If it's Jason Aldean, we've heard it a lot.
Too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
we played in a cover band that did that.
Will not be in a band that plays that stuff anymore. I don't need to play that much anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that important. But when did you start performing? When did you first sing in front of a group of people?
I was in a talent show in the 4th grade. I think that's probably my earliest memory. I mean, my family would have me sing for them. We'd have like karaoke nights and things like that. But as far as singing in front of an actual crowd where someone's there to hear your talent, it was a 4th grade talent show.
What did you sing?
It was a Miley Cyrus song.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a cappella? Did you have like a backing track behind you?
Yeah, we had to bring in the CD with the music, so I wasn't necessarily singing by myself. But
That helps. How'd it go?
Right.
How'd it go?
As far as I can remember, I got a good reception.
How did you feel going into it? Were you nervous?
I was nervous, but I was also excited.
But 4th grade, man, you're young at 4th grade. That's must be terrifying for most 4th graders.
I mean, I was pretty nervous. I even still get a little nervous to this day. But
really,
yeah,
well,
just
you
a little
certainly
bit.
don't look nervous.
No, thank you. Just as long as I don't look it, that's fine. But yeah, I was mainly excited just because people got to hear me sing and had a really cute outfit too. So I was ready to show it off.
This is pre-leather jacket, right?
Right. It was a Hannah Montana t-shirt and a cute little pleated skirt. I felt like I was the bee's knees. So
Nice. Hannah Montana. I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah. She's changed the tad.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Do you like the current Miley Cyrus?
yeah, I don't like necessarily like actively look up her music, but sometimes I'll be riding in the car with my sister and she plays that music and I'm.
Does she have any music? Because everything I see her do is covers. Everything I see of Miley Cyrus is she's doing a cover of someone else. She usually kills it, but I haven't heard any of her original music.
Oh yeah, she's got some great original stuff.
Okay, cool.
No one would fault you, Jeff.
No. I don't follow Miley.
I don't either.
But
I know she's out there, and she's a little rowdy.
Yeah, she's rocking.
She really wanted to break away from the Disney vibe, I think.
Who can blame her?
Yeah, she succeeded.
Really.
And then I bet her dad is a little interested in what she's doing these days. But
So one thing that I want to say about 901 ROX, you guys, you do a lot of covers of the era that we just talked about from your dad's era and my era of killer hair metal. But you do a cover of an Evanescence song, and you mainly kill it.
Thank you.
Not every band can pull that off because not every band has a female lead singer that can do that. But man, you nail it every time. And that's just every time I see that song scroll across Facebook, I stop and watch and listen.
Oh,
and it's a great song that you share with Alan Bone.
Yeah.
There's an Aussie song you guys do together.
Yeah,
too,
we do.
right?
If I Close My Eyes Forever.
And it sounds great. Yeah. It really does. So let's run down the names. So we got Alan Bone on drums, Brian Thorson on guitar, John Patrick on bass. I like John, and I like all of you guys.
John is the most stylishly dressed guy in the band.
Yeah.
Love you, John. You're always...
He had a good Nikki Sixx costume on for Halloween.
Yep.
That was great. And
then, that's so cool.
And then Michael Green on keys.
Yeah.
And I heard that Michael just kind of jumped in without really having played keys a whole lot, right?
Yeah, we scooped him up. It was literally our second show. We recruited him and never looked back.
Sounds great.
He does a great job.
So when did you
all
hear
that, Mike?
Yeah, Mike. I hope you're all listening.
Yeah, you better be.
So when did the band form?
901 ROX existed before they asked me to be there. Well, before I auditioned for them, they didn't necessarily ask me. I don't know how long they were together. I think maybe a year or two. But they did have a previous singer who was also a female, but apparently it just didn't work out. And then my sister. So Brian is try to follow me. Brian is the stepfather of my sister's best friend. So when he made the post about needing a singer, she showed my sister and my sister showed me. And I was like, hell yeah. This is all the music I listen to anyways. So yeah, let's give it a go. And then I came out to Bartlett and Brian has the whole setup in his garage. I always forget it's a garage because it's so equipped and set up just like, a little rehearsal
Every
space.
band wishes they had that.
Right. Excuse me. And I auditioned with things like, I remember Man in the Box, because out of the list they had, it was the ones I knew all the words to. And then I Remember You. And I think performing I Remember You is what sold them.
That's great.
That's another one that's not easy to do.
So what year were we looking at when you auditioned?
2021, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So relatively new. And then Alan Bone was a new replacement last year, correct?
Yes.
Who was your drummer before Alan?
His name was his name is Eddie Pennington.
He's still with us.
Yeah, he's still
yes, thank God.
We don't want to kill people on the show.
Sorry, Eddie.
When you jumped in, was Brian, but was John in the band? Mm-hmm. Okay, so he was already in there. And then the second gig that you were a part of, that's when Michael came in.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
We had a few practices with him as well, but as far as shows go, it was the second one.
So is this the first band?
Yeah, the first band that I really booked gigs with. When I was a sophomore in high school, I had a band, but that disintegrated just as soon as it was formed because obviously we were all in high school. Yeah. I didn't have a car, sadly, and they always had to come get me, so it was just kind of a cluster mess. And we focused too hard on doing trying to find out write out originals. We did 2 covers as far as I know. We did Holiday by Green Day and Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top.
That's pretty diverse.
Right. I mean, I guess it was the only ones they knew how to play. So, but we never really I guess we just didn't have the drive to.
Well, you're in high school.
things.
You got a lot of
exactly my
distractions
point.
going on.
That's true. And it's not the 80s anymore, sadly. Like high school bands are like, fresh out of high school can't quite just get on the map like that anymore.
So that's really it, leading up to 901 ROX. So this is a huge leap for you, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I love it because it's so exciting. Just like people come out and they want to hear us. They want to hear me after being told, shut up, because I've been singing my whole life. So
how did you feel when you got the gig? I'm sure you were super excited, right?
Absolutely.
And then they hand you 40 songs to learn.
Right.
So how was that?
It was a little tedious. I'm not going to lie.
Was it 40 or was it more than that?
No, I think it was 40? Less than that at the first time.
Yeah.
For the first set of songs that they were performing.
Right.
Yeah, those were the ones I had to learn. I think it was about maybe 30, 35.
Okay.
Give or take, because some of them I already knew. I just had to read the words for it. But I looked up each song on YouTube and made a playlist out of each video. And I just listened to them on repeat. Like I usually, if I need to learn a song, I listen to it first. I get the rhythm, the melody, and then I read the words and try my best. And then eventually I get it. So
yeah, because I've seen you guys perform a few times. Do you have a tablet or a phone up there? Good for you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Coming from a guy here where after taking a long break, I have charts over to the side that I'm trying to break away from, because it does help when, you don't see phones or tablets up there, but I'm just as guilty as anyone. But if they're throwing out requests, that's a different story. You just pop up and look at you, try to find the song and the chords and the lyrics.
Right. Like there are some songs like people will come up, they're like, oh, do you know this? And I'm like, yeah, I know it, but they don't know how to play it. So I'm like, if you want an acapella version, throw a 20 in the bucket. But
there you go. Shit. 100
Exactly.
for an acapella. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. And then you don't have to split it with your band. How about that?
Right.
So how long did you guys rehearse together before you played your first show? Do you remember?
It was a couple months, I think. Like we had a few practices, and then next thing I know, I get the news that we were booked at Sidecar Memphis.
Okay.
And that was so exciting.
That will absolutely make you learn the songs and put pressure on you, and that's, I've always thought that's the best way to do it. I'll call and book a gig and then tell the rest of the guys, hey, by the way, we're playing a gig in 6 weeks. And then you got no choice but to learn the material at that point.
Right.
So was the band booked at all before you, or was it still a startup when you came in?
I think they might have had a couple shows. I'm not sure. I don't know why I never asked, but
well, you guys have several a month now. You guys are very busy.
Oh yeah, but it's good for my bank account. So
Hey, everyone wants to make some money at this,
right?
For sure,
exactly. But I just love. See, I just love getting to perform for people. So getting money from it does not hurt at all. But
do you? And this is kind of a loaded question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you guys have a favorite venue that you play at?
I think it varies. Like I personally love playing Hadley's.
Yeah.
Because we usually have a good turnout.
Sure.
I like the stage. Yeah. The pizza's pretty good too.
Absolutely.
So.
Shout out to John Jacobs, man. He's got a great establishment there. I love
Hadley's black and blue cheeseburger and their tots. Amazing. They're really
all right.
All right. I'll remember that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always open to food suggestions. So if it's good, it's good.
I love Hadley's, love hanging out there, and there's always great bands playing there. It's just a revolving door. It never stops. It's great music.
I always like asking this because I know sometimes I'll look down at the set list and there's songs where I'm like, oh, okay, kind of can't wait to get through that one. But then, I can't wait for this one. And then the band will like, we got to skip this on time. I'm like, why are you skipping my favorite song? But when you are looking at your set list, are there certain songs that you're like really amped up for that you just feel like you're really in the pocket with?
Definitely. We recently added Barracuda by Heart. So that's one that I'm like, because not only is it high energy and you get to, headbang and jump around and all that, but it's also a good song vocally. And I like, may be full of myself, but I like to show off my vocals sometimes. So that one,
that song will do it.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, absolutely. That one, Wild Side by Motley Crue,
Fun song.
Rainbow in the Dark, just those really. Like I guess anything that's like, strong and good for people to get up and get pumped to.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we were, this just popped into my mind, so I got to bring this up because we were at a show that you guys played at Sidecar Southaven, and you do a cover of a Tora Tora song, Phantom Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And John Patterson was actually with us.
I was not at that one.
Were you not there?
I saw the pictures, though.
And John got up and sat in with you guys, and the look on your face was pretty priceless when he got up and got back there. I could tell you were pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Like, it's not often that you get to sing a song in front of the people who originally performed it.
Right.
So that was fun. And then let alone perform with them.
Sure.
So that was fun. And then he told me after he was done playing, applause and everything, he came up to me and he said, "You sang the f*** out of that." And I was
awesome.
like, "Thanks."
Yeah, that's a pretty...
yeah, I mean, that's nice to hear.
Compliment. Yeah,
for sure. Funny side story about that show, because I was not there, but there was it was a hilarious picture posted along with the bunch of pictures that was posted for that. John Patterson has, big ears, right? And it's an ongoing joke with Fevertree.
it's a big secret.
Yeah, they
Secret's
stick out.
now.
They're not so much big; they're like wings sticking out, right?
Oh, no.
So Tim Dills, it was Tim, right?
Yeah, it was Tim.
The picture was Tim Dills probably like 20 feet back and just kind of peeking out, and made it look like he was peeking out of his ear. And it was
Oh, my
hilarious.
Lord.
It's a very inside thing, but
And I don't know if you've seen, but Tora Tora is playing in April at Minglewood. So
All right.
get your tickets and go check them out.
April 6th. And we know this because Jeff bought me a ticket, and just today I found out I have a gig that day. So
Oh, damn.
he's got a free ticket. There you go.
There you go.
All right. We're in business.
Yeah. So that'll be a huge show. I love those guys. But
On average, how many shows are you guys playing in a month? Because on Facebook, it looks like you guys every weekend.
Basically,
Yeah.
every
Okay.
weekend. Yeah. I mean, there was a few weeks back in December where we didn't have a show every weekend, which was fine by me because
Sure, yeah.
holidays and
Yes.
stuff like that. Whew.
absolutely.
But yeah, for the most part, we are booked every Saturday,
You
usually.
You do the side cars,
Mhm.
right? Haystack, Hadley's. What am I missing here? You guys ever do Neil's?
We were booked at Neil's for it was a benefit show around this time last year, but I sadly had a really bad cold
Oh.
and I couldn't sing, especially with the songs that we do.
Sure.
So,
Someone
yeah.
filled in for you once, right?
Yes, Angela Burton.
Cool.
Okay.
Shout out. She usually, if I can't do a show and it's like too late to cancel,
Yeah.
she'll usually fill in for me. She does a great job.
That's
too.
great.
I love her voice.
Because it's rare that you can have a fill-in singer. Usually, if the singer can't do it, the band
Yeah.
can't do it. Well, that's cool. You have her.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can she sing all the same material as you?
Not the really high pitched ones, but like she can do like Wanted Dead or Alive. And
Right.
I sadly, love her, but scrolling through, I haven't gotten the chance to like really see the videos that anybody's posted.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, that makes me sound so evil. And I'm so sorry. But
I know we're not
but
trying
yeah.
to throw shade either. Like
No.
I kind of asked a shitty question. Can she hit all the notes you can?
But she still has a beautiful voice. Like she's come up and she's sing We Do What's Up by the Four Non Blondes.
Okay.
She's done that one, and she just blows it away every time because she's got such a soulful voice.
I remember when that song was so hot on MTV when it came out. It was constant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was definitely one of those songs you didn't care if you ever heard it again. But it's a great tune.
Yeah, it's fun to play. It's pretty easy too, musically. Chord wise, it's a good song. Cowboy chords.
Exactly.
There you go.
Okay, good.
So you were telling us before we went on the air that you've got a gig that's coming up that's a pretty big deal to you. In February, you're playing at the Peabody.
Yep.
And that's a private event?
A private party, yeah.
Boy, that's cool.
Yeah.
That'll be
know.
that'll be a big deal.
Need to get you guys on the roof.
Hopefully.
what's up.
Just not in
yeah.
February.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Right.
No, for sure not. But if you ever get to play the roof, have fun with the load in and load out. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say.
I've heard it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's very Spinal Tap, where you're dragging your gear through the kitchen.
Yeah.
Elevators.
But the good thing is I've seen posts by Brian, hi Brian, where he gets there before everyone else and sets everything up. So it's all on you, Brian.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Get to do it all.
That great backdrop y'all have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
I've always said that's the beauty of being a singer, is that I don't have much equipment to bring in. I got my purse, which is enough equipment in itself. So
do you roll in like 10 minutes before start?
30.
Man, that's not bad. I'll take 30 all day long. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was cutting it close. I did that like once or twice, and I try not to do that because my anxiety was so sky high. I was like, shit.
Yeah. If you walk in as Alan is counting the song off, that's bad.
Right. Just run up. Somebody hands me a microphone on the way in, and I'm just singing as I'm running.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I gather, it's good to acclimate and just kind of get there and talk and hang out with your boys and everything. Yeah, jumping in last minute must be like nerve wracking.
Oh,
so are you guys planning on continuing in 2024 as like pretty much every weekend like you did this past year?
Oh yeah.
Because I noticed between like the end of COVID, when it was getting over, I saw you guys start posting your schedule, and I was like, yeah, these guys are fixing to ramp it up. And it was almost every Friday and Saturday, it seemed like. So you're planning on continuing that because you like the money?
And performing.
It's fun
Don't
to
forget
play.
that part.
It's fun to jam.
I get it.
Right. Yeah. No. See, everybody's always like, it's not about the money. I just love the music, man.
No,
and I'm like,
it's about
yes,
the money.
of course I love the music, but I'm gonna need a little help here. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Now, after you join and you're learning their pre-existing set list, at what point do they come to you or listen to your suggestions? Because were there songs that you were like, hey, I'd really like to sing this one, and they started adding stuff for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't remember what the first song was, but it was like around 2022. I want to say, so after a few months after joining the band, we all just kind of got together and was like, we should do this one. Let's drop this one. So it all worked out. Thankfully, there are some songs that we'll pitch to each other, and the other one will shoot it down. Like I would love to do Fly to the Angels by Slaughter.
Oh, great, great tune. I remember that tune.
But I can't remember who it was, but I was like, no, let's not do that one.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
And I can't push it because I wouldn't want to be pushed to learn a song I didn't want to do. So.
No, I get it. Yeah. Do you guys do any Paramore?
No, but people have suggested that. That would be fun, especially along with, since we do Saliva and Evanescence, it's right up there with them. So.
Do you follow Paramore enough to know they're breaking up or something? I'm interested. There's something going on.
I don't think they've had the same 4 or 5 members ever. They're constantly rotating people in and out. So,
what was the song we used to do?
I don't remember. Yeah, but it was a cool tune.
Put him right on the spot. Me and Jeff were in a band with Jeff Cobble, his wife and daughter. Yeah, and we did a Paramore song, and we did a Tora Tora song too.
We did. We did Walking Shoes.
Yeah, that was fun. So when you look at the set list, which one do you just fucking despise? Like, I want to sing
there
this
has
one
to
tonight.
be one. Everybody has one.
You don't have to answer that if you don't.
I mean, I have a handful. When we
a handful.
I'm going to be honest with you. When we first started, I am. This is probably sacrilege, but I am not a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
Oh, me either.
Get out.
No,
I'm
not either.
Goodbye.
No, I'm right there with you.
I had to learn Danny California.
Yeah. Well, I can see vocally. Anthony Kiedis has his own vibe, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see that.
The whole band has its own vibe.
I bet your band likes playing some Chili Peppers though, because it's a fun musically. That's a great band. And I like Anthony too. I love Blood Sugar Sex Magic is one of my top albums. Oh, so good. But anyways, I digress. So you mentioned originals back in high school. Mm-hmm. Has that ever crept back in and being creative and writing your own stuff?
Well, I, being an aspiring singer since I was like 7 years old, I used to write songs all the time. We did, as a band, mention doing originals at some point. I don't think we're necessarily in a rush to do them because everybody you come to these shows and you want to hear stuff you already know.
Yeah.
So, but I do have one in my back pocket just in case they want to do it.
There's two things that will empty out an arena for bathroom break: a new song and a bass solo. I didn't mean to flip you off there.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
I was counting down, and I never mind. But yeah, and just joking, John. But but usually, that's when people get their popcorn.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like she said, people come to hear the covers. That's what they want to hear. But I think it's great for a band to write one of their originals here and there and just slide one in every now and then.
Yeah, pepper them in. Yeah,
and you'd be amazed at how much this town has changed over the years, because there was a time when it was all original music and covers were what got sprinkled into the show.
It was the other way.
Yeah. And now it's all covers, and unless you're the Fast Mothers or Fevertree or Electric Nobody or a few of those bands that are doing the original thing, which is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys should write your own stuff, man, and throw it in there. I'm sure people would love to hear it.
All right. I'll definith run it by them. Not guaranteeing anything.
Words of Wisdom by Jeff Ward.
I have very few of those.
So I've also seen you guys do a lot of benefits, right? You guys do a benefit here and there, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys did one at Neil's, right?
We were scheduled for that one. I think we're scheduled for it again this year. But yeah, we did have that one, but I couldn't do it because I had a really bad cold. I even had to cut the last show that we had done. I think that was the night before. I want to say we were at Mulligan's in Midtown. First time playing there. The opening song was Rainbow in the Dark, and then I think it went into Living on a Prayer, and I'm like, oh shit. And my voice kept breaking. I kept straining. So I'm turning around to the guys. Start crying, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do it. And so
I will never understand that pressure because I don't sing at all. And when you're the lead, front person, that must be just hard and terrifying when your voice is, you can't fake through it.
No.
And everyone's there. Look, people want to sing along. They want to watch the singer, so the spotlight's on you the most, right? That must be terrifying. What is that like?
Oh yeah, it's very nerve-wracking. Like, we just played a show last weekend at the Crossing in Olive Branch, and again, I had just gotten over some congestion, slight sore throat, stupid weather.
Yeah,
and
it's that time of year.
Exactly. And when I say that I had taken every day, it was vitamin C, some type of immune system support tablet, cough syrup. I'm always sucking on cough drops because it's good for my throat. But I was trying so hard because I knew I had to be in the best shape for this show. And it was a good show. Thankfully, there was a lot of people there that hadn't seen us before, and they walked out with T-shirts and everything. But it was just so hard, and not being able to get a proper breath, which is, the main component being able to sing these songs. And it's funny because I Remember You, and I couldn't hit that note at the very end. And I even said to the crowd, I was like, guys, I swear I can do this usually, but I'm coming over something. Because there were a lot of people there that hadn't seen us before, and I don't want to give a crappy performance for the first time.
And then, of course, that's what gets clipped onto Facebook. Right?
Yeah.
It's always great.
Yeah, and you can't control it. You can't stop people from posting.
Right.
Like I take the worst pictures ever, so when everyone posts stuff from a show I do, I'm just like, man, I wish I could take that one down.
I know the feeling. Especially if I'm, in the zone, I got my mic in the hand and I'm headbanging or dancing around, and somebody snaps a photo and I got a double chin because my head's all cocked to the side, and I'm like, all right, that right there, that's Emma Caroline. That's
I actually intentionally took a bad picture of you at one of your shows, and I think I showed it to you and said, is it okay if I post this one? And you said, absolutely not, I'll kill you.
Neither confirming nor denying.
And then we put it all over the show. No, I'm just kidding. You mentioned merch. You guys have a great merch game going on. You got hats and shirts. Is there a place people can get those, or do they have to buy it at a show, or you still have a inventory to sell?
Yeah, they usually they get them at the show. There's we keep a box full of them.
Yeah.
I need to restock on my bracelets because I can throw those out, because I think I had one and I either lost it or my mother stole it, something. And so I got
Mom.
another one. Right. Little thief. So I had another one, but I gave it to somebody who was at the crossing because he got a shirt and he was just like basically all over us. He asked us to sign the shirt. So I gave him my bracelet. I was like, here you go.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Giving an autograph is fun.
Yeah,
for sure.
Not necessarily on a T-shirt because it catches, but yeah, it was
at least
great.
it wasn't a creepy body part.
Right.
Oh, amen. I would take a
Amen.
T-shirt any day.
I'll take a T-shirt any day. That's funny. That's funny. I screwed up one night years ago. You know, people signing an autograph, for me is like, okay, thanks. I appreciate it. But, doesn't seem like a big deal because it's coming from me. But anyways, someone was signing the band CD. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even really look. I just took the Sharpie and just signed it. And I signed it right over the singer's face.
Oh, no.
So
that wasn't on purpose at all.
Sorry, Chris. Have you ever done any studio work?
I was 14 when my sister knows some people who are somewhat on the music scene, like the Memphis hip hop scene. So she knew somebody with a studio. So she got me some studio time, and I went in there and I did a cover of a surprise, a Michael Jackson song.
Nice.
Yeah, and it didn't. I don't think. I think it got burned onto a flash drive, if anything, but it didn't produce it or anything.
Was it to a backing track?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how'd that feel? What was that experience like for you?
It was. I overuse this word, but it was so exciting because I was like, this is a real studio. I'm in a real booth. This is a real microphone with real headphones.
Right.
Like I felt official, even if it was for just a cover.
Now, when you
funsies.
heard, I've always been interested in with this question with singers. When you heard the playback, did you like what you sounded like, or did you? Because I know I cringe when I hear myself on a recording. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
I thought it sounded good just because the vocals were so isolated because I was so used to singing into like the microphone on like a computer or something,
Sure.
and it just sounds, you can hear background noise and things like that. But I thought it sounded good, but then there was that one note and I was like, eek.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Can we do
amazing
that
when you go into a real studio and they know how to make you sound good. It's amazing how you can sound when you're through with that, and it's usually a pretty interesting dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I would just gather it must have been exciting, but was it nerve-wracking at all? Like, because hearing yourself in headphones, did that throw you off at all?
I mean, a little bit because I had never used headphones like that before. Right. Listening to music, sure, but not hearing myself. But I was a little nervous just because, everybody was, there's like the little window in the booth, and everybody was sitting out there staring at me, and I'm like, thankfully the guy who ran the booth turned the lights off, so it was just me with the light down on me, and I was like, I like this. This is what I want to do.
And it can be a tad demoralizing too, because you think you just gave a great take, and you look over at the people behind the board, and they're just kind of dry. Let's do another one. We'll do another take. You're like, oh man, I thought I did good.
Yeah.
Right.
So, for anyone out there that would probably want to start singing in a band or take that next step, is there any advice that you'd like to give the young kids these days? But because this is relatively speaking, this is still new to you. And what were some of the things that you had to learn on the fly that you didn't expect?
Really, just stage presence, honestly, because there's somebody that's come up to me at a show and they're like, I saw you at your first show. You were up on the microphone stand, and so I really just had to learn how to loosen up a bit, I guess.
Were you a statue at first?
Just a little bit, yeah. Unless a song came up where I got to play the tambourine, because some songs require a tambourine, which is good for me because that's at least something that I can do. But I had to learn how to interact with the crowd because, believe it or not, I get bad social anxiety sometimes. So sometimes I just feel awkward. Even to this day, I feel awkward. Should I be?
Oh God, sorry.
That's funny, huh?
No, sorry. My
That was poor timing.
My knuckle hit the iPad, so I will give myself this. No, this is to myself.
I hate you.
And my daughter's trying to call me.
Blowing you
She's
up.
blowing me up. But well, look, this has been fun.
That was perfect. That was the perfect timing.
So send a message to your band. Tell them how much you love them.
I really do love you guys. I know we may have had musical differences, but I love the hell out of all of y'all.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. But I love being part of the band. I love getting to perform with you guys. Thank you for letting me be a part of it. And here's to many, many more years to come.
Many more years to go.
Well, you guys have definitely got a great crew together. You've got a great following in town for a reason. And you sound amazing. You do a great job on these songs. And the songs that you guys do are not easy to pull off. And you really do them justice. And every time I get to come out and see you guys, you take me back to my heyday in the hair band
so
era.
much Aquanet back then.
Yes.
And Moose.
Back when I actually had hair and didn't have to wear a hat.
Well, yeah. I appreciate you coming down to the studio. I hope
Thanks for having me.
I hope you had a
Absolutely.
good time here. We had a good time talking to you. And we're going to have all of Emma's links in the description along with 901 ROX, which is a group. It's a Facebook group, which is different.
Yeah.
You know, you guys like interacting with your fans, I would gather.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone does,
Yeah.
but a group gives you more openness, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Who
And,
runs it in the band?
mainly Brian.
Okay.
I try, but like I go through the day and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in a band. Let me do something about that.
Yeah.
So,
My suggestion to Brian, list your band members' names, please. That's the selfish thing, because when I'm trying to research and find band names or the names of the players, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
right.
And me and Jeff try to get these names right now, because more often than not, early on, we're like, what's the bass player's name again? And we forget. So.
It's going to happen again.
Well, all right, everybody. Thank you for checking this episode out and listening to Emma's story. We hope you enjoyed it. The audience, again, thank you for engaging. Man, people are sharing our posts, Jeff, like crazy, which is the best thing you can do as far as supporting this podcast and platform, just sharing those Facebook posts. We are on Instagram at the Rhythm Section Pod, and that's also the Facebook handle. Check that out. Plus, you got therhythmsectionpod.com. Jeff, we got some cool sponsors, don't we?
Yeah, HempvilleCBD.com. TRS20 is the code for 20% off at your checkout. Go see those guys and
Get you some gummies.
get your freak on.
And our awesome band sponsors. Thanks for playing along. We really appreciate that.
Yep.
And again, to Emma Caroline, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, y'all. Have a great day. Thank
Stay
you.
slimy.